Hello and welcome to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here tonight with Tyler Wolkowitz and Cole Melnick. Bit short-staffed tonight, but that's all right. We're going to make it happen anyways. It is a big matchup tonight, folks. Frontier Redhawks against their crosstown rivals, the Franklin County Technical School Eagles.
Boom.
Eagles have a great start to their season so far. Only one game in the books, but 42-6 win over McCann Tech. Frontier had a rough start. 0-1 is their record. 18-0 loss that we all remember from 2 weeks ago, although they had their bye week to recuperate, replan, and restructure their team, which they have had to do, Tyler, because they have a few injuries, and big injuries at that. Levi Pickard, as we said last game, is out for the season with a broken collarbone. Really tough luck for him. Thankfully, he still has a few seasons left here at Frontier.
The really potential too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The really sad news and could be very telling for what's going to happen for the Redhawks in this game is you see the man out there on the right, number 77, Javian Cabrera, one of the captains of the team. He dislocated his shoulder a few minutes into their first game 2 weeks
for the
ago.
Eagles, number 5, Ethan Smar, number 12, Tyler Yetter, number 20, Josiah Little, and number 22, Maddox Whitman. For the Redhawks, number 61, Colin West, number 10, Caden James, number 55, Julian Adams, and number 78, Javian Cabrera.
Colin West switching his jersey tonight from 1 to 61. But as we were saying, Javian Cabrera dislocated his right shoulder, in the early moments of their first game, and it's undetermined when he's going to come back. The positive news for the Redhawks on the IR side of things is that Brady Pareda is back in action. You can see him on the sideline tonight. Right now, he's likely to be in the game, hopefully. He's wearing a knee brace on his left knee, which was apparently bruised. And it's a good thing that he's back on the roster for the Hawks because he had the most yards for them in their game against Lunenburg. 37, which, although not a lot, when you're playing against a team that is a division above you like Lunenburg, every yard counts. And Pareda was making that happen, Tyler.
Absolutely, Mason. Will defer to the second half.
So they will be receiving the kick to the start and will be scoring to the right of your screen. They will be kicking the ball off.
Right.
I flip-flopped it. They'll be kicking the ball off, and Franklin Tech will start off with the ball. We had a great matchup between these teams last season, Tyler.
Absolutely.
It was one of the first games of the season for them, as it is this year as well.
Ask everyone if they're able to please rise as a Frontier band honors America by playing our national anthem.
All right, and now we're going back down onto the field. It is a nice, I can call it fall now. It's a fall night. You can really feel it in the air, Tyler.
Yeah.
67 degrees, a little bit of wind, and we got the fans lining up outside of the gates to see this game. Not just from Frontier. I'm seeing someone in the crowd
10,
with a Mohawk track windbreaker.
Yep, they're just here to support the game.
Number 3, Nolan Stafford. Number 20, Josiah Little, back for the Eagles.
And James will kick it off for the Hawks. It will be an onside kick, and we'll go out of bounds. Flag will be on the play as it went out. So the onside kick
is out of bounds. Flag on a play.
Will give.
Kick did not travel the necessary yardage. Franklin Tech ball, 1st and 10.
Yeah, as we were saying earlier, Mason, it's going to be really. Oh my.
40-yard line.
As we were saying earlier, Mason, it's going to be really good to see Brady Pareda back out there. He was doing fantastic against Lunenburg, and we cannot wait to see him tonight.
Absolutely. But now on Franklin Tech side of things, the big story from the backfield is Josiah Little, number 20. He's in the fullback position right now. He is just absolutely phenomenal, Tyler. And we're going to see him in action likely in this first play. And there he goes, off to the right side, finds his gap, and breaks through into almost the secondary, just short of the first down, it looks like.
Garrett Dredge on the stop. Gain of 8. 2nd and 2.
Yeah, that is one of their star players there, Mason, and you really can see it right away, just being able to crunch through. Hopefully, it might be very similar to last week where Lunenburg kept just hitting it down the middle and couldn't stop it.
It's likely what we're going to see happen. I mean, and there you go again. Exact same play.
Yep.
Finds the same hole and gets about the same yards. Brought down by Colin West after a big hit delivered by a few Red Hawks.
Colin West on a stop. Carry good for an Eagle first down. First and 10, Franklin Tech.
The Frontier Red Hawks team is significantly smaller than Tet team here. And they
by a long shot.
Got to have the offense playing on both sides of the game. Yep.
Yeah, you don't see that with Tech. They can have some players exclusively on offense or just on defense. Yep. And they will hand it off to Little again. He's going to get stopped cold. Good effort by the Hawks and good anticipation.
John Relo on a stop. Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 to go in the front. Maybe they see, they're having a little bit of a longer huddle. Maybe they'll switch it up here.
We could see a passing play. I was going to mention the quarterback for the Eagles, Tyler Yetter. He has around the same experience that we've seen Garrett Dredge have, which is not that much. The fake goes to number 30, up the middle.
Ball carrier.
And that's Nathan Sobolewski, the fullback.
Noah Pareda on a stop. Carry good for...
Wow, that was a very interesting trick play
Eagle
there.
First down.
Yeah.
Looked like he was going to do like a hook shot with the football and then
pitch it behind him almost.
That was crazy.
I think we actually saw them warming up with that play, except not giving it to Sobolewski.
Right. Yeah.
So following through on the trickery in the actual game, they've got a receiver out to the near side. That's number 4, Hunter Donahue. Right behind the center is Yetter, and he's going to hand it off to
Josiah
Little, who gets a few yards brought down by a few Red Hawks
Julian
for a
Adams
short gain.
For the Red Hawks.
Adams will be credited with
5,
the tackle.
2nd and 5.
And rightfully so there. That was a very good block by Julian. Had nowhere to go and completely flattened him.
Caden James was there as well.
Yep.
He's playing the inside linebacker position for the Hawks. And will be fullback on the offensive side of things. Now, an important stand for the Hawks, where it's essentially 2nd and goal, 2nd and 5 from inside the 10. Handoff to Little, finds the gap, and will be brought down short of the first down, maybe 3 yards on the carry.
Caden James on a stop.
There it is. That's
Third
Caden.
down, 3rd and 1 for the Eagles.
3rd and 1, this close to the goal line. Can't imagine they wouldn't do anything besides running down the middle.
Especially when you got Little in the backfield. I mean, this was, we talked to a few of the players before the game, Tyler. The key to the game that they said, and stoppage of play.
Substitutions.
Something wrong with his uniform, it looks like. That was the motion that was made by the referee on his armband. Oh, no, he's bleeding. That's what it is. He got a little cut on his arm. You can see it now as he's walking over to the sideline. So no, Pareda goes to the bench to clean up his arm. But now it'll be a quarterback sneak, and he'll get into the end zone.
Tyler Yetter.
Touchdown, Eagles.
Into the end zone for Franklin Tech. Touchdown. Number 12, Tyler Yetter.
An early strike from Franklin Tech is going to put them up 6-0, Tyler. And you can't expect them to do anything else besides go for the 2 points. If you got a quarterback that can, is comfortable sneaking through the line like that, and you have Little in the backfield, there's almost nothing you can do if the defensive line isn't stopping anything. Now, as I was saying,
Eagles will
this is what the Red Hawks were talking about earlier before the game to me. If they can stop Little, it's anyone's game. But if they can't, it's going to be a passing play. Interesting call, and it's dropped back of the end zone.
Wow. It's crazy.
Little's pass intended for Tucker Hicks, incomplete. 8:44
Tucker Hicks, the intended receiver. So big break for the Hawks. Joe Gamache obviously going to regret that call. If it was picked off, I would be prepared to say Malcolm Butler. Living here in Massachusetts, everyone knows what I'm talking about. That's the same equivalent, And if it comes down to a difference of 2 points at the end of the game and Frontier's on top, we'll be talking about that play.
Definitely. Yeah, so far Tech has been going very far, just driving downfield with no problem. Our Frontier band here was playing a song, the Imperial March from Star Wars, and that looked quite like it. They were just marching down the field with nothing in their way. It's very quick. However, Frontier is now getting the ball on the other side. See what they can do.
Back to receive is namely Brady Pareda, but Ben Karen is off to the right if they send it that way. Pareda will receive the kickoff and will try and run up the middle. Gets a few blocks, and he's brought down just past the 40.
22, Maddox Whitman.
Good run back.
Redhawks.
Very good run back.
First and 10 from the Frontier 42-yard line.
42-yard line. That is fantastic.
That'll be
There's so much space.
22-yard kick return.
Boom. Very intense.
And this will be very telling of what kind of offense we're going to see from the Hawks in this game. We're expecting running, but obviously you've got receivers. We saw Garrett Dredge warming up with plenty of passing drills before the game. They'll set up on the left hash.
Yep.
And Dredge right behind the center. They'll hand it off to Caden James, the fullback. He's got a block and will get around 5 yards.
Right down the middle. I mean, yeah, that instantly.
Donahue on the stop for the Eagles.
Doing a lot of grounded pound right in the middle.
4.
Wow, their speakers so loud.
2nd and 4, as Mr. Blanchette said. He's the one that's calling the game that you can hear all the time, by the way, folks. Basketball referee for many years, over 50 years actually. He's reffed all levels of basketball, all the way up to Division III college, as a matter of fact. He was telling me yesterday. Now the handoff to James again. He won't get a block this time and is brought down by Tyler Yetter.
Yeah, I think a big test of this game is going to be who can do the better ground and pound right through the middle. It's like they both have both teams have some really strong running back core. Both teams have a really strong running back core and can run straight through this and get a bunch of yards at the first down.
Yeah,
most of the
absolutely.
Time. Yeah. I don't know.
And so it will be from the Hawks 48, 3rd and 3. Hawks were not able to convert on 3rd down that successfully in the last few games, but the pitch over to Caden James.
Whoa!
Big hit!
What a shot.
Ball carrier carries for a Red Hawk first down.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Maddox
great
Whitman
game.
on the stop. First down Frontier at the Franklin Tech 45-yard line.
Frontier's pitches this year and last year and the year before that have all been very superb. Been able to get a lot of yardage. The defense never sees it coming. It's very impressive.
Oh, absolutely,
Strong
Tyler.
play.
I mean, it's a trick play that we have seen frequently from them before, but almost always it works. There was one time where the defense was able to read it and stop it that I can think of, but beyond that, it's worked very well. 2 receivers to the left side of Dredge, and he's got 2 behind him. He'll hand it off to James. He's got a hole on the near side and is brought down by Tyler Yetter. Tyler Yetter also the quarterback on offense for the Eagles, and this is a decent enough drive from the Hawks that we've seen so far.
Absolutely, Mason. Yeah, they've been able to get some yards here, but one thing I'm finding very interesting is that both teams are still just feeling each other out, They're trying to figure out what they're doing, what they're playing. They've both seen films of each other, but you never know how they're going to play tonight.
Absolutely, Tyler. Yeah. I mean, it's everything that they've been thinking about for the past 2 weeks is coming down to these moments on the field, and that's what makes it so much fun. The pitch over to Brady Pareda. He spun around and brought down. Helmet is thrown off of Caden James, and he's looking for a flag. He won't get anything. Or no, excuse me, that was Connor James.
Gain of a yard.
Gain of a yard from Brady Pareda.
Oh, yeah, that was again, they went for the pitch, but this time went inside. They haven't been getting too much luck there. They've been getting some small yardage. There.
And now
substitution.
Oh, yes, out there, yeah. Yep. And now it will be a few subs coming in quickly for the Hawks. Pareda back in the fullback position. 3rd and 7 is what the Hawks are looking at. Long 3rd down conversion, and they'll hand it off to Brady Pareda. He's got a gap, and he takes it. Will be short, but it's going to be close. This is going to be an interesting call from Scott Dredge.
Carry short for a first down. It's 4th down. 4th and 4th and 3 for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, the defense went flying down the middle, and we're able to come around and get him from behind there. It's very impressive. Ooh, all right, 4th down. Garrett returning to the huddle.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting play call here, Tyler. I mean,
tight formation.
4th and 3, it definitely looks like they're going to run it, but we could see another trick play here. You never know. Snap goes to Dredge. He will keep it himself, and it is brought down.
Garrett Dredge.
Yeah.
Big stop on 4th down.
Wow. By number 3, Nolan Stafford.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication there. I think one receiver was supposed to not grab it, and then another one
maybe act as a blocker, too. Yeah.
That's all right. It happens in those tough plays. All right.
Loss of 3 or so.
Yep.
On the play, and it will be
1st and 10, Eagles from
Eagles
the
ball.
Franklin Tech 41-yard line.
There it is. Waiting for the chain gang, and they're set.
It's a good thing we didn't have to call for chain gang today, actually. That's a first, honestly.
Barely get done.
Little under 8 minutes gone in the first quarter. The pitch back to Little. He's got some blockers, and he'll go up the near sideline. Noah Pareda lays down the shoulder and takes his legs out.
Fantastic
Noah
run
Pareda
there.
to stop. Carry into Red Hawk territory for an Eagle 1st down.
That's Noah Pareda's second tackle of the game. He's been active on defense, but a big game from Little, and this is the kind of thing that the Hawks need to stop, and that's why Scott Dredge is going to be calling a timeout right here. I mean, we talked about it before. Little is going to be a threat from the offensive side of the ball. We didn't really see him on defense, and that's all right. You know, he leaves so much impact on the game when they have it on offense. It's really phenomenal. And you also have to credit the offensive line, Tyler. Anyone,
Definitely.
I mean, you could, great example, and I know this because they're my team. The Giants, Saquon Barkley, one of the best running backs, you know, that is in the NFL right now. And, you know, I won't say the best because there's Christian McCaffrey and a few others.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the strongest and could be one of the best, definitely, and is now having a shot at that because he's with the Eagles and has that great offensive line. And who didn't have the offensive line for that? The Giants. They never seem to. And I won't go into that rabbit hole because it is a rabbit hole for me.
But if you ask me, Mason, who would be better, Barkley or Little here? Honestly, I might have to go for Little. It's a big win condition.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
see the huge guys on the line for Franklin Tech, and that's making so much difference. That's why they've only thrown one pass, and it didn't work too well for them, so they probably aren't going to go back to it. And that won't be Little on the handoff. That'll be number 21, Maxon Brunette. That was number 21.
Julian Adams, Colin West on the stop for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're sticking to their guns. Don't fix it if it ain't broke.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, especially if you're getting several yards of carry. You get more than 3 yards of carry, you're due for a first down before you have to think about fourth down.
Yeah.
You know, that's just some simple math right there. And if you can manage that, you're managing a good running game.
Alrighty. Shotgun position.
4 receivers eligible for the Eagles movement. And they'll fake the handoff. It will go to Little. He strips several tackles and is finally brought down by Connor James.
Fantastic movement there. Yeah, I mean, this
Connor
is a team
James
you'd...
on the stop for the Red Hawks. Carry good for an Eagle first down.
Sorry.
First and 10.
Blanchett is very loud, so it's going to...
Yeah, we're standing up right by the speakers where his voice is coming out right now. Takes a little effort to concentrate, but the Hawks, once again, they just can't seem to stop the steady march of the Eagles. And, you know, when you came into this game, you heard several, optimistic, confident reports from many of the players on the Red Hawks saying it was going to be a close game, but they were going to come out on top just like last year. And we'll have to wait and see. It's going to have to come down to the defense, and if they can make these stops, keeping the ball is Yetter up the middle, and it will be tripped up by Noah Pareda, but there's a flag on the play. Seems like it could be holding, maybe on the Eagles. This might be coming back, folks. Let's see what the call is. Holding on the Eagles.
Yep.
10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Alrighty, well...
But Noah Pareda's still getting a tackle. His third tackle of the night, only in the first quarter. And I mean, Noah Pareda, Tyler, he's a freshman, and he's making some great plays on defense. And this is, we might not be seeing the most amazing season from the Redhawks this year, but if you ever get the chance to watch some of their youth football games and see some of these younger players like Noah Pareda, the future, it's not dark, to say the least.
Yeah, certainly looking up. Alrighty, shotgun again.
4 receivers, and there's the motion.
Yep.
Late for the snap, and it will be a lateral pass almost. And he cuts back inside, and the ball's loose. We're coming by the Red Hawks. Turnover.
Look at that.
And what a hit by the Red Hawks.
Fantastic defense there by the Red Hawks.
Recovered by the Red Hawks.
Wow.
1st and 10 Frontier.
I'm going to have to rewatch that play to see who actually hit it out. But that's what we were talking about. Yep. It's going to come down to the defense. It's going to come down to who can make those big plays. You can make those stops. A turnover and a forced fumble recovery is exactly what they need.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, this offense has been really great. They have a lot of different options here, and they're doing it seamlessly too. But this defense just been able to knock the ball out just like that.
Absolutely.
So either way.
Yep. And now it's back up to the offense, who their last play on the field was a Garrett Dredge sack for a loss of around 3 or so. And when you're back in your own territory like this, they're on their own 11-yard line. Last thing that they want to see is a sack. But it looks like there might be blitz from the far side. Garrett Dredge got to watch his back. He's going to cut forward and is brought down by Nolan Stafford, who actually, he was the carrier of the ball when it came loose. So he's trying to get a little bit of revenge there.
Gain of 3, second and
yeah,
7.
I mean, you want any amount of yards there. This is a very dangerous area, being this close to your own goal line. You do not want to touch back here. That would be absolutely detrimental to the results of your game.
Yeah,
They need more breathing room, and they're going to get it here.
100%. This is an area where you need to succeed on the first couple plays to get that insurance, to maybe make a bigger play down the field. We're running out of time in the first quarter, and the Hawks in a close formation again. It will be a handoff to Caden James, who spins out of a tackle and is brought down after a few-yard gain.
Caden James, ball carrier.
Yep, and that's just fine. They're getting a little bit more room until they can get something more happening.
Yep, and now will be a 3rd and 3.
On the stop for the Eagles. 3rd down, 3rd and 2 for Frontier.
Yeah, that is 3rd and 2.
Alrighty.
The Frontier 20-yard line.
Lining up wide. 1 receiver on the far side. 2.
Still a close formation behind and to the right of Garrett Dredge. Looks like they might have a running play that way, but then they have motion. And Dredge will be brought down immediately for a loss.
Wow.
That was Hunter Donahue on the tackle.
Yeah, we absolutely love to point out the line when they do great, but somebody there did not take their man. It might have been a bit overloaded on the right side with it, like the more tricky position, but it's all right. It happens. They still have a little bit of room here.
Back to receive.
Yeah, no.
And Nolan Stafford will be receiving the punt. Colin West, who had several good punts in the Red Hawks last game.
Yeah, absolutely. With Jet Phillips out with the concussion, he's stepping up. And
from the 5, almost blocked, but he gets it off. Will land at the 40.
Punt goes out of bounds.
Yeah,
at
great
the
kit.
Frontier 46-yard line, where the Eagles take over 1st and 10. That's the end of the first quarter here from the Frontier Regional School. With the
and that'll be the first.
Tech Eagles 6 to Frontier.
Hawks doing a good job on defense, making a big stop with a forced fumble.
The stand is open.
And they're staying within 1 score, but unable to convert for a first down yet again, Tyler. They're going to put themselves in some rough field position and force their defense to make some more crucial big plays. They're going to take a quick break on the field, and so are we. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television. Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith, still here with Tyler Wolkowitz and Cole Melnick. We're coming into the second quarter. Red Hawks are down 6-0 against the Franklin Tech Eagles. They were stopped on 3 and out, punted the ball, and now the Eagles looking for a pass. Tyler Yetter winding up downfield, and Noah Pareda waves off the defenders.
Second and 10 for the Eagles.
Yeah, that might have been a bit of a shock for the Frontier defense there. Like, oh
Big
gosh,
shock.
get
Yeah.
back.
And I mean, I guess you can see why. Receiver in the area, well covered. If anyone was going to get to the ball first, it was going to be Noah Beretta, and his defensive plays would only have gotten more incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Tet team has a lot of good arms that can throw, but we got to see how they deal it in pressure. Natural chant from the student section.
There we go. There's a first of the season right there.
That.
Incredible job. Someone give him a sticker. Now the handoff to
sticker.
Josiah Little is wrapped up and brought down. No gain.
Josiah Little, the ball carrier.
Quick stop there again.
Rinkovich on the stop.
Still a third and 10.
Third and 9.
Oh, 3rd and 9. Oh, wow. They still got something.
Well, that's a big stop regardless
Yeah.
for Grinkovich. I mean, his first tackle of the night and might be of the season from what we've logged down.
Right.
But a big one at that, very big. If you can find a way to consistently do that, we already said it, the game is it's anyone's game. It really is. And last year, they had Josiah Little. The Red Hawks were able to stop him more often than not, and it ended up being a 27-22 Hawks game. Last-minute touchdown scored by Caden James on an incredible play down the sideline.
Fantastic
And
game.
pass almost blocked, will come up short. Incredible play by Julian Adams.
Intended for Nolan Stafford, incomplete.
Yeah, wow.
Eagles
I'm gonna.
down 4th and 9 from
It looked like Adams got a piece of that too.
Frontier.
The spiral looked a little wobbly after he had thrown it, so maybe it was just the nerves of Julian Adams running at you. But Yetter's definitely shook. They've tried to throw 3 passing plays. All of them have been incomplete. One of them not his fault, I'll add. That was great pass right through his hands. It should have been caught. But
tough luck so far. Yep.
now they've got 4 receivers, 2 on each side. Little in shotgun position. James trying to catch someone on a false start. Here comes Adams and almost picked off. Garrett Dredge was right there. It hit him in the chest, and it was just a little too fast for him to react.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So
it's the second one of those balls we've seen today thrown by the Tech quarterback. One on their side and one of ours. Wow.
now I know it's remarkable to say, but now it's going to be the Red Hawks' ball. I was not expecting a turnover there. I got to be honest, Tyler. I was mainly because I was not expecting them to throw 3 straight passes.
Yeah, Mason, that was incredible. Like, that was very fast. They moved. They got a yard there in total, and then just found a drought. Let's see how the Red Hawks can.
I mean, it's interesting. They're trying to make the passing game work, and maybe that's because they feel confident with their running game that if the Red Hawks do score, they can come back. Or they're confident that the Red Hawks won't score at all. But anyway, Garrett Dredge will keep the ball after faking the handoff. Almost stripped, but he will be brought down for a loss of 3 by the looks of it.
Yeah, I hate to see that. Some misdirection gone wrong. It always occurs in this level of football, but it's all right. Only a yard.
2nd and 11.
They'll place it at only a yard. Definitely looked like a lot more from our angle.
Absolutely. We're getting all different numbers.
Yeah.
Lynch is saying 11. The scoreboard is saying 12. And
yeah, 2nd and 12. Well, 13. From the sticks, it looks like 2nd and 12.
Yeah.
But on the field, it looks like 2nd and 11. Dredge takes a snap, drops back, looking to pass, airs it out. He's got Jackson Spearance. And a beautiful play on defense, number 22.
Wow.
Maddox Whitman. Great defensive stop.
Really good. Yeah, that was fantastic. He was able to cover him the whole time. He almost had enough room, too, but just in the last second, the cornerback just was able to get all over him.
3rd down, 3rd and 12 for the Red Hawks.
Very impressive.
And now another 3rd and long for the Hawks. Nothing new from them. I mean, do you go for a pass again, Tyler? It almost seemed to work. The pass coverage was really great from the Eagles, and Dredge was almost sacked on that play.
Yeah, it was too close for comfort, that's for sure.
Well, they got 2 receivers on the far side, and they will go for a pass. Extra blockers for Dredge. He's got Ty Skorowski for the grab, and it won't be a first down.
Still got some yards in there.
Complete to
cut it in half.
Ty Skorowski.
And that is a first for the Red Hawks.
4th and 6 for the Red Hawks.
4th and 6. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so quarterback there, Garrett Dredge, was under a lot of pressure. There was 2 linemen running right at him from either side. And he was still able to find the right pass and was able to get it to him. That was very impressive.
I was very impressive. That is actually Garrett Dredge's first complete pass for positive yards this year.
There we go. It's a good trend. Keep that up.
From the 30-yard line, Colin West punt will be touched and dropped.
Oh.
Technically a fumble is what they're going to call that. It's going to be scooped up by Franklin Tuck, and he's finally brought down after several hits. Nolan Stanford.
Julian Adams on a stop for the Hawks.
He fielded that at around the 20.
Ball 1st and 10 from the Tech 30-yard line.
Wow, yeah, that you went through a lot of hands before he come down. That's not what you usually like to see, but it wasn't too much of an extra gain. That's fine. Still a pretty demanding distance here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we said this at the end of the last game that the Hawks had against Lunenburg. One of their strong points seems to be their special teams, especially with Colin West as a kicker. Yeah. I wouldn't chalk him down as a kicker, but he definitely has proved us wrong. The handoff to Josiah Little is no surprise, and he will get wrapped up by one of the linemen. That was Julian Adams.
Yeah, right through the middle. I feel like they might be laying a little, keeping some people back just so they can cover him once he mates out the original block.
The strategy seems to be we can't stop him right at the line of scrimmage, so it's better if he takes a few, hits and bumps, gets a little jostled up, and then we can hit him with full force in that second line of defense.
Absolutely. Yep, they're handling it very well.
And now lining up with receivers that was an odd snap. No verbal call from Tyler Yetter, and they will get the first down.
West on a stop. Carry good for a Eagle first down.
A really strange play, mainly because there was no verbal indication of the snap, and the Hawks definitely didn't seem ready for it. A great play call from Joe Gamache.
First and 10, Franklin Tech.
Real quick, look at all the fans here. We got all this line down here still in a very full student section. There we go. We got some cheer captains as well.
And a very full parents just cheer section for the Eagles. And now Josiah Little takes the far side, gets a few blocks, tries to cut back in, and is brought down by Colin West.
Look at that. Like I was saying earlier, his strides are just massive. They're incredibly strong, like a stallion, just gained by with no problem.
It's so incredible to watch. And I mean, especially from a guy that's that small. His name is very fitting. He's only 5'4", but he definitely, if he lays down a shoulder, he's going to be packing a punch. Now, bad news for the Hawks is John Rouleau staggering over to the sideline. Looks like he got a little shaken up on the last play, taking a little water break. He is their center, so something bad's happening to him. That's really bad news. The pitch.
Whoa. Mason Sabalewski
is good for a first down, it looks like.
That was interesting. I wasn't sure if that was purposeful or just like a really high.
It was the trick play that they ran before. Sabalewski. And another timeout going to be called by the Red Hawks. That will be their second of 3 timeouts. And we'll also give John Rouleau a little bit of time to catch his breath on the sideline. Still not sure what happened to him, and hopefully he's able to come back in for the Hawks. We need every lineman that we can, especially to stop this run game from the Eagles.
Yeah. But I mean, on the line, you really got to be careful with a running back like this, like especially on the D line. Like you cannot have anyone slipping up, and without someone like John Rouleau, it's it's certainly cause for concern. But we hope to see him get better fast.
Yeah, we don't see a guy like him. He's number 72, who is right next to Levi Pickard right now, actually. He is not credited with a lot of tackles, but he is one of the big blockers out there, and is definitely, especially with Javian Cabrera being injured right now, he's filling in a lot of space on the line, which is huge for the Hawks and huge for him. It's got to be hard and taxing, and that's why he's taking this breather right now. He's going to stay on the bench, actually.
Yeah, a little bit more time. Just do anything that's safe. If you can have him on as soon as possible, that's great, but we'll have to see.
Now 1st and 10 from the for the Eagles just outside of the Hawks red zone.
Setup we saw before.
Handoff to Little.
Yep.
Slips through a tackle and 5-yard gain.
Yeah,
Connor James on
the teams that have the option to both
Gain
throw
of
and
4,
pass and
second
can
and 6.
confidently do so, they can just have some wide receivers out and then draw out some more defenders so they can just run it down the middle and have no one there to get them.
It's totally part of the strategy, just because the last thing you want is, oh, well, they're going to run the ball, and then you leave a guy open, easy touchdown, big gain.
On the other side of that, if you don't have enough people there for the middle,
yeah, Little's going to make you pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, he's in the fullback position. Receivers out to the left of Yetter, and Little stiff arms, and a big hit delivered by Colin West.
Yeah, you like to see that competitiveness
Colin
really
West
getting
with
rough.
the stop. First down, Eagles.
And yet, they're still
First
marching
and
down the
goal.
field.
They
Little
keep
is a
marching
base
forward.
first and
It's
second.
steady, but it's deliberate. They know
From
what
the
they're
Hawks,
doing. They're
14
confident. They
yard
have
line.
faith in Little in the backfield, and it seems like they do have faith in him in the backfield. Do they have faith in Yetter as a quarterback in terms of throwing? I don't know if they do. They tried it out on that one drive, and that ended in not really much good. And that's going to be pitched back to Little, who gets hit and dropped by Garrett Dredge.
Little the ball
There you
carrier,
go.
Garrett Dredge on the stop.
Yeah, one thing that we really admire about this team is they are able to play with a lot of different lines, a lot of different positions, and they can be very confusing. A lot of misdirection. They can get some good motion, and you really never know where they're going. So this defense, especially people like Caden James, looking back to the linebacker, making sure he can see where they're going, and helping his team out to get the stops early.
Yeah. And especially on defense, I mean, this has been a really big point of conversation for the Hawks in their locker room and whatnot, especially with their defensive backs. But now, same formation we saw before on the right hash this time. James misses the tackle, but
ball carrier, Julian Adams
is
on the
bailed out
stop
by
for the
Julian
Red Hawks.
Adams.
Yeah, again, like we were saying before, they're just drawing out
Third
some
down.
cornerbacks, and then there's just less men right behind the line
Third and
there.
3 for
Yeah.
the
That's
Eagles.
just
And it honestly, it's up to, because the defensive backs have a duty and a responsibility to cover those wideouts. It's also their responsibility to read the play, and if they see the motion for the handoff, they should probably cut back inside.
yeah.
Then again, you don't
absolutely.
want to leave your man open. It's a whole balance. And now we got a passing
paradox.
play, and it's going to be batted down, blocked
Nice.
pass.
Pass was batted down, fourth and
It looked like Colin
3
West was
for
on that
The
play.
Eagles.
He was in the vicinity at least. And that's actually the second block pass for the Hawks today.
Yeah, they're
Definitely
being
a
able to
lot
get their
more.
hands up.
Definitely a lot more defensive activity for the Hawks than we saw with Lunenburg. Lunenburg was able to really just kind of plow through their defense.
Right, and when you see that here, it's going to discourage their pass as well. So
Yeah. And I got to give the Eagles credit for trying the pass. You know, they're confident with the running game, and now they'll pitch it back to Little, who cut back inside, and he's into the end zone.
Yeah.
Josiah Little.
Touchdown,
into
the
end zone
Eagles,
for an Eagle touchdown.
and it's 12-0.
Absolutely dominant performance so far. That was very, very nice. Like, there's so much alteration, very good play calling, so much trickery. It's like a bluff, double bluff, triple bluff. You never know.
Yeah, I mean,
Very impressive.
they're running the option
Yep.
so many times because they have Little in the backfield, but they also have Sabalevsky in the backfield. And, you know,
Eagles
you're
will
expecting
attempt a
Little to get the
two-point
ball, but then
conversion.
when Sabalevsky does on that fake, you aren't expecting it. And now it looks like it could be a quarterback sneak, but no, he'll pass it and
Header's pass.
batted away
Yeah.
by Noah Pareda, who's having a phenomenal game so far.
Incomplete.
It really is 2 for 2, being able to stop the after point.
Intended for
2-point conversion, rather.
Jackson Silva.
And so Eagles
4:33
0 for 2
remaining here in the
on
first half.
the
The Franklin
2-point
Eagles 12,
conversions.
the Frontier Red Hawks nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. But still, having the 12-0 lead this far into the game, it's tough to come back from that. But you just need to get some points in here.
It definitely is, and I
Yeah.
mean, it's pressure just keeps mounting on the Red Hawks. It's always going to keep mounting on the Red Hawks unless they can get into the end zone, because you aren't going to expect them to kick a field goal, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose they can take what they can get, but with Jack Phillips not in the game, he's still recovering from concussion. He's still on
Brady Gazzard
concussion
on
protocol.
kickoff for-
He's not in the game. who's going to be kicking the field goals. I don't expect Colin West to. I don't expect Caden James to. I mean, Caden James seems to be an onside kick specialist at this point.
Yeah,
Last kick doesn't really give him enough credit for that. But in Lunenburg, we talked about it. He had that phenomenal kick, rode right up the body of a Lunenburg player, and it was just poor execution from the rest of the Red Hawks to not jump on the ball in time. It was in perfect position, but this looks like it will be also an onside kick. Will be covered up by Garrett Dredge. And a few late hits delivered, no flags. But some good field position for the Red Hawks. And whoever is wearing yellow shoes out there, I don't appreciate that. I thought that was a flag. That's number 4, Hunter Donahue. I'd appreciate it if you get some different shoes, man. That would be really kind of you.
Hey, man, you're kind of distracting us, bro. We really gotta see what we're. Oh my gosh. All right, yeah. Well, great props to the Red Hawks there, just being able to drop on the ball right away, leaving it no room to go.
And now the Hawks' 4th possession of the ball from their own 40.
It's John Merlot
will be a handoff, and Pareda is wrapped up quickly. Or excuse me, that was Ben Karen on the carry.
Yeah.
Ben Karen on the carry.
2-yard gain on that play.
There you go.
It'll be up to the Hawks, 42.
Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
I disagree with you, Mr. Blanchette, but that's okay.
It's all right. We'll be fighting all night about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's lay John Merlot is back.
Yeah, see, the scorekeeper agrees with us. The scoreboard says 2nd and 8.
We are going off
so I think I'm doing all right. Yeah.
This is what's happening.
Now, John Rillo is back out there, snapping the ball for the Hawks, which is great news.
Oh, yeah.
Receivers out on Dredge's right side. The handoff will go to Brady Pareda, who gets wrapped up and brought down for no gain.
Tackled by a host of Eagles.
Yeah, it's been looking like when we've been running, when the Frontier team has been running it down the middle, it's been getting stopped. Oh. Timeout call.
Timeout?
Yep. First timeout for Tech team.
Yes, it will be. They're running low on time on the first half. Likely they're anticipating another stop here, and they're anticipating being able to try and convert it into a few points at the end of the first half, Tyler.
Absolutely, Mason. This is a very crucial time for the Red Hawks, and Tech can also capitalize on it. They can get a quick stop and just turn it right back while still on their half of the field, you know. They can get so many points. That's
what's so just, I think, really interesting about this sport. It's similar to basketball in not any way at all, except for the sense that there can be a steal and anything can happen at any moment. You could Franklin Tech's going to score. Oh, well, it seems inevitable there in the red zone. Forced fumble, Red Hawks turn it around, and they don't convert into any points, but they stop the score there. Right. That's the kind of thing, anything can happen at any moment here. And Hawks trying to draw up a play that's going to give them this long third down conversion. 3rd and 8 is what we're coming back to off of this timeout.
Yeah, there's more results here that worked out for the Eagles here than they do for the Red Hawks, but see what they can do.
Yeah. Coming out of the huddle, and Jackson Spearance is close to us here on the near side with Brady Pareda. Those are the receivers for Garrett Dredge. Fakes the handoff. He's got pressure on his blind side. Runs out of the pocket. Garrett Dredge looking for the first down. He's going to get it and gets his legs taken out from under him. But a great run from Garrett Dredge. Incredible awareness.
There you go. That is exactly what you want to see with the younger quarterback, being able to have some heads-up playmaking and all. Like, not only has he been increasingly showing more skill on the court, both passing and running, he knew exactly what to do there. He was ran out from his blind side, couldn't quite get his guy there, so he went out to the right and got the first down. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Exactly what you want to see.
It's a great job, and I mean, especially in a collapsing pocket like that, which with Javian Cabrera not there, the line isn't going to be as solid. He's a huge anchor in this team, especially on the line, and that is just, I mean, it's a great job by him, and now the Hawks have a fresh set of downs, and things get harder for the Eagles. Pareda gets the carry, spin move, trying to break free, and getting thrown down after the play is Ben Karen.
For the Eagles.
Shaking his head.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
A little bit of tussling with this rival.
Yeah, and I mean, you expect it. I appreciate the policy of the refs. Just let them play it out. But at a certain point, I expect to see some calls in the second half about all of that.
Oh, yeah. When it
Just,
gets more tense.
Yeah, exactly. You guys can push and shove and do what you want. It's football. But when, emotions start to get really high, that's when the refs should step in, and that's when I hope they do step in. Receivers on either side for Garrett Dredge. Pocket collapses, and the loose ball is covered up.
Yeah.
Fumble on a play.
By number 75. That's Max Hunter. Great job by him falling on top of that.
3rd and 10.
Yeah, again, really unfortunate start to the season with losing Jamin Jabera to shoulder. I mean, yeah, that is just very intense. It's very clear that they're missing someone there. They're still able to hold it up rather well, but sorry, I'm getting distracted by our scoreboard. It went crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The refs might call a little stoppage here.
Must they?
Because the scoreboard is currently not keeping any time at all. The refs are going to call a timeout to figure out what's going on with the scoreboard.
Right before this, it went black for about 2 seconds and then flashed on and off with its bright
and now it's saying that it's 5th down and 42 yards to go.
And it's E01 seconds remain in the corner.
Well, this is a first for me. I haven't seen the scoreboard do this before. Both teams just kind of waiting around the ball.
Yeah, we got to get our former facilities manager, now athletic director, Glenn, over here.
Yeah.
Puts it up.
Well, they figure out what the issue is. The teams are going to take a bit of a... Yeah, they're going to go back into their huddles.
Yeah.
And there you go. It is fixed. The scoreboard's back to normal. We got a minute 30 to go.
There we go.
And ref calling out the time to our scorekeepers. I mean, it's a good time to mention we got a huge crowd here tonight.
Absolutely
Tyler.
massive.
A lot of people supporting the Red Out theme, and you love to see it. But now on the field, receivers on the far side for Garrett Dredge, 2 behind him in the backfield. And Rouleau is getting ready to line up over the ball. Another 3rd and long for the Red Hawks. Refs waiting for a confirmation of time. Talking to the coaches about it, and they say, go ahead, let's play. Or maybe not quite yet. They're still talking as one of the refs is standing over the ball.
No way it was 4:10.
And Blanchette is saying there's no way that there was 4 minutes left in the game. And I have to agree with him. I don't think that there was either.
It was about 2:30 when it flickered.
Yeah, I have to agree with Blanchette here. I was thinking it was around like 2:35.
This is just a really interesting occurrence here. And now he's put 40 minutes on the game clock.
Wow. Okay. With someone like Blanchette at the wheel, this could go.
You never know really what's gonna. Okay, so they were saying a minute 40 instead of a minute 30.
3rd down, 3rd and 10 for the Red Hawks. 1:40 remaining here in the first half.
And they've come to an agreement. And here we go.
Here we go. That's
Formation stays the same for the Red Hawks. 3rd and long. Crucial down. Dredge under pressure. Gonna throw it.
Nice.
Caught by Skorowski, and they'll likely go for it on 4th down.
Fantastic again. Yeah, Garrett's
Once
been
they're done,
improving so much. Being able to see someone coming right at him, instead of scrambling, instead of trying to get out of there, he just takes one little step back, a little hop jump, and throws it right to his receiver, who's a little bit open there. That's all he needed. It's fantastic. Sorry about the camera quality right now. We're a little short-staffed.
I do think they're going to go for it, Tyler. They're bringing out Jackson Spearance. That's one of their receivers. Skorowski's had 2 receptions on the night so far. I think the Hawks have every right to go for it right now. A minute 30 on the clock.
Definitely.
You got to place your bets on your hopes that the Eagles, if they turn it over here and stop the Red Hawks, they can't get all the way down the field in a minute 30. But a close formation for the Hawks on a 4th and 5. The pitch back to Ben Karen. Gets some blocks. Ben Karen turning the corner, and he's going to be short.
Stopped on both sides.
Ben Karen on the carry.
Yeah, stuck between a rock and a hard place there.
On a stop.
Right in the middle.
Tech takes over on downs, 1st and 10 from the Franklin Tech 42-yard line.
And a good effort by the Hawks. I agree with the play call. I think that was the right thing to do.
Yep.
But now they head back over to the defensive side of the ball with 81 seconds in the first half. And this is a great chance for the Eagles. 2-minute drill. This is what you run it for. I know they run in the NFL. I don't know how much they do it, but Joe Gamache takes this very seriously. I know he's a great coach.
Yep.
Knows everything about the game, and they will send out a 3-receiver formation on the far side, setting up on the right hash. Motion by Little, and they're going to pitch it over to him. He's got the receivers as blockers. A great pass from Tyler Yetter and a good tackle from Brady Pareda to make it a minimal gain.
That was always just such a well-designed play there. Being able to have 3 blockers, you never know what they're going to do. Are they going to go for the short side or?
But a lot of fancy work for only 2 yards.
Yeah, exactly. The executions for both of these teams have really not been so stellar this far.
I think we've seen some good play calls. I think we've also seen a lot of rough execution. And now it looks like they might be running a similar play on the opposite side of the field. They set up on the far hash, watching for movement from Little, and there he goes. Hawks trying to anticipate it, and he's going to be a quarterback sneak. He's going to go to the other side where there's less blockers. Oh, and a great tackle. First down. Brady Pareda again undercuts him.
Yeah, that sequence right there really is telling to how this coach likes to play it. He just tried to flip it up and try to see if they would just go for the same thing, but no. The QB decided to keep it and just try to get some yards there. Very clever.
And that was a great play call by Joe Gamache. I mean, he saw movement from the Hawks DBs on the near side, and he probably gave the option to Yetter that say, you can go where you want to go depending on the motion. There's a pass downfield. It's going to be blocked.
Ooh, wow.
And a great play from Ben Karen. Batted down.
2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was a bit of a high ball there, so you were able to have 2 people on the receiver there.
Yeah, and it looked like I think Garrett Dredge was in the area as well. He was either Garrett Dredge or Noah Pareda, and if it hadn't been batted down, definitely would have been tackled. He would have been down there, or it actually could have been picked off by one of the Hawks right behind the intended receiver.
Yeah, the trajectory of the ball is very detrimental to if it could be caught or picked off.
I got to say, I feel like the defensive backs have stepped up in this game. Their pass coverage has been great, but unfortunately that's forcing Josiah Little to be really dominant in this game. 2 receivers on either side. Motion, high snap, fakes the handoff, and Yetter's going to take it himself. Strips a tackle, and he's brought down short of the first down.
Colin West on the tackle. Timeout called by the Eagles.
And
3rd down.
They got 34 seconds on the clock. 3rd and 4. This is a crucial play coming up, folks.
Yeah, this timeout is very good here.
Going to take a quick break on the field, and so will we. We'll go down to the band, standing on the track right here. You're watching Frontier Community Access Television.
Third and 4 for the Eagles.
Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. We're getting right back into the action. 2 fake handoffs from Yetter. He's winding up. Bullet, and it's knocked loose.
Wow.
Hit delivered by Noah Pareda.
Ethan Smar.
Yeah, he had his hands right on it too. Very good route. He was able to find his receiver in the mess. Oh, but that was very good coverage, and knocked it out before he could get it.
And this will be the Eagles are going to go for it. They have 28 seconds on the clock. Why wouldn't they?
Go for it.
They're within range of a Hail Mary at the high school level, and they're going to send out one of their receivers, Hunter Donahue. He's on the near side.
Their quarterback has this range,
but it's going to be pitched back. Josiah Little, they're looking for a big gain from him, and he comes up
Josiah Little, the ball carrier,
with the first down.
Eagle first down.
Yeah, they might just bide their time here, get a little bit closer, and then they can throw the deep ball into the end zone.
From the Red Hawk 30-yard line.
Well, time is winding down. They got 20 seconds and counting on the clock. Quick huddle. They got to get a snap out quick. 15 seconds on the clock. It's going down fast. Pitch back to Little again. and he breaks the tackle, has some blockers, takes the near side, and gets out of bounds with a second on the clock. I don't believe it.
Wow. I mean, that couldn't have been planned, but that speediness was able to get it with just one more play.
They snapped the ball with about 8 seconds to go, and that whole play took around 7 seconds in total.
Wow. Yeah.
Timeout is called by the Eagles, and Coach Stretch upset with plenty of reason to be. There's every reason. You got a guy running down the sideline. You do everything in your power to keep him in bounds. You can't assume that the half is over, because the half now is not over, and they are at the 17-yard line. You have, I mean, a huge misstep from the Hawks defense. That is a crucial mistake. That could end up costing them a touchdown, Tyler.
Exactly, Mason. They were able to stop him the first time, be able to push him right to the side, but this time they didn't have enough room. They didn't have enough pressure, and he was able to get in just enough room in just enough time. So now they have one more play. And now this is like, what is this? This is like a 20-yard pass. This isn't bad at all.
It's not bad at all. I mean, but at the same time, you can't be expecting a pass. You got Josiah Little that we're talking about here.
Exactly.
Yetter has not thrown a complete pass this whole game.
Yep.
Some of them haven't been his fault. A lot of them have, to be quite blunt with you.
Granted, yeah.
And so now we've got 4 receivers, 2 on each side. They'll be lining up on the near hash. Little in the shotgun position. Or no, it's not Little. It's Max Brunette. It will be a pass. Brunette, a blocker on the blind side, and a deflected pass will be caught by the referee in the back of the end zone. So,
Mason, the Franklin Tents coach is really good. He signed up the ref as an eligible receiver, so that was all right. That was fantastic. Wow.
Huge break for the Red Hawks. It looked like the pass might have been tipped on the line. I don't know who that was who would have done that. But the score at the half is 12-0 in favor of the Eagles, and we will now go down during halftime to the Frontier track. It's the marching band. then I can, because this is what they have for like soccer. So
Oh yeah.
dude, I'm actually going to give so much. Dude, we better win this game. We better win this game.
Oh yeah.
What a nice hand for the Red Hawk band under the direction of Max Sherrill. Great job, band.
Hello and welcome back to Frontier Community Access Television. I'm Mason Smith here with Tyler Wolkowitz and Cole Melnick, who just climbed up the ladder. We're coming into the second half of this big football matchup, second of the season for both of these teams. Your Frontier Red Hawks against the Franklin Tech Eagles. The Eagles are up 12-0 after the first half. Frontier struggling offensively as they did against Lunenburg, but a few big defensive plays and a huge stop that they had, which was a forced fumble recovery in their own red zone, stopping a potential. They've stopped 2 potential touchdowns at this point, I'm pretty sure, Tyler, which is incredible for them to do. I'd say this is already a better performance than we saw against Lunenburg, which, granted, was a much better team than Franklin Tech. Yeah. Lunenburg, a division above the Red Hawks and Franklin Tech, I believe. So this a nice, proper matchup with its advantages and disadvantages for each team. Franklin Tech, obviously, you can just take a look at them. 57 kids on the roster. Frontier with a few upwards of 20. The size difference is noticeable. Also physically on the field, the linemen are massive. And the Hawks have been putting up a great fight against this formidable opponent. And we're still waiting for the flag to come out for the Red Hawks. It's balled up on the bench right now. And speaking of the flag bearer from the last game, Jacob Rice, is not seen on the sideline tonight. He's in perfect shape. I was told by the coaches he hasn't met the required amount of practices to be eligible to play yet. That is the issue.
Yep.
And I've been told he wants to play. So we're likely to see him on the field in next week's game at Greenfield, which we will be covering, and that'll be a very fun game indeed. That was a win last year for the Red Hawks. Greenfield also a co-op team. They've got once again 2 players from Turners Falls High School on their team, and they might have 1 or 2 others from some other schools as well, possibly Pioneer, depending on if there's interest there or not. And now the Red Hawks, after deferring in the first half, will receive the second half kickoff, hoping that their decision will pay off for them in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely, Mason. Like you were saying, Jacob Rice, we cannot wait to see him play. Now different positions. He played before, but now we're going to see him in more active positions. Looking forward to that. And the last couple of years, Greenfield has been a really great game to see. Hope everyone travels out there to see that. Not a far commute.
Yeah, not a far commute at all. And also, like this game, great rivalry and some good matchups. Number 15, Brady Gankars, is going to be the kicker for the second half kickoff. Pareto once again back to return. And it will be an onside kick between the legs of Garrett Dredge. Caught by Ben Karen, and he is brought down by his neck. Pareda astonished there is no call.
Got wrapped up there.
First down, 1st and 10 Frontier from the Red Hawk 41-yard line.
Good field position again. We have yet to see a proper kickoff, Tyler.
Yeah, man, it's actually been kind of hysterical. I mean, I think that this is very purposeful from the Eagles here, though. They're going for a very bouncy ball straight down the center, hoping for the best. But
and they almost got some there, went right between the legs of Garrett Dredge, but Karen was right there to scoop it up. And now Dredge right behind John Rouleau. And he takes a snap, pitch back to Brady Pareda. Pareda looking for a hole is going to have to cut to the outside and is brought down for a loss.
That's okay. You expect to see that. I think Brady Pareda had the right idea by going more outside there, but first game back wasn't quite able to be as fast as he thought he needed to be. That's all right.
2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, this defense is really able to chase them inside out. It was really crazy. No matter where they are on the field, it seems like they're going to be able to be right behind them every time. Sean Rouleau heading out. Two wide receivers lined up. And a nice fullback position.
The snap goes to Dredge. Handoff to Pareda again. He's going to cut back to the outside and won't break that tackle. Will make up the yards that he lost, plus a few. Chalk him down for 5.
3rd down, 3rd and 7 for the Red Hawks from the Hawk 45-yard line.
Blanchett and I can agree for once.
There it is.
That was a 5-yard gain.
This time he's waiting. He's waiting for the change in.
I appreciate his confidence, though. I got to say. I mean, voice of the Red Hawks for what did he say the other day? 25 years?
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a long time.
Absolutely.
Big part of the community, and we love what he does. I can say I can't do the PA announcing as well as he can, but I don't know if he can do this as well as I can. So I think we're just about even there. A lot of respect for him, especially with his refereeing in basketball. I know I definitely couldn't do that.
His commitment is fantastic.
It's amazing. It really is. And now the drop back. Dredge goes for a pass down the field, and it's too far for Carter Robinson.
Wow.
A well-placed ball, just a little bit too far down the route.
4th down.
Yeah, honestly, that had a lot of potential. He had a lot of room. His cornerback really wasn't even too much room, but he broke away at the last second. But just the ball could not drop in the right place where it needed to be. Nothing wrong about the pass; it just didn't connect. It happens.
Back to return for.
Yeah, it does. Probably a little more often than the Hawks would like, but West will be punting the ball. High snap, and he gets it off. A beautiful knuckleball will be dropped and not picked up by the Red Hawks, still gaining yards. And
Stafford on a return.
Wow.
I mean, that was a great punt. That was exactly what you need. That's the second time that we've seen Stafford drop a punt. And the Hawks need to be down there knowing he's going to be doing that or likely to do that, and they need to capitalize on it, Tyler.
Yeah, Mason, you're completely right. That was just beautiful for Colin West. Like you said, the knuckleball, like, that was really good. It was, that just bounced right off his hands. And, he dropped it. They just need to get to the right spot. One guy blew right by him. It couldn't quite stop him.
Yeah, and I mean, that was good blocking on the Eagles side of things. I won't fault him for that. He was doing he was doing the right thing, and it was a good block. But now the handoff to Little will slip through a tackle and is brought down by Ben Karen and Julian Adams.
Yeah, that was a weird formation that you don't often see from the Seagull team here. It was very tight. They're not using their possible wide receiver core. They're just sticking to their guns. They know what they want to do.
Yeah. They have always in this game had a level of confidence, a high level of confidence, but they tried towards the end of the first half to give Yetter a chance in the pocket, and it turns out that there wasn't really a pocket for him to work with. It collapsed very quickly, and when he was able to get a pass off, it was underthrown or overthrown, almost picked off a few times or just batted down. So they're going to stick with the run game, and they'll do it again and pick up the first down with Josiah Little up the middle. Adams there once again with Colin West for the tackle.
Yeah, like we've been saying since the beginning, Josiah Little is clearly a professional. I mean, he's got this craft down to a science.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Every time he runs in that line, he's got his head down. He's going to get hit hard. We have a very strong defense at Frontier.
Yeah.
However, you never know.
And they're not going to hold back. I mean, Julian Adams, he's not going to pull those punches. Same thing with Colin West. They know exactly what they need to do to stop this running game, and they're going to do everything they can to do it. And that's why, I mean, you give Little even more credit than we've been giving him. It's been taking two Red Hawks regularly to tackle him, and now a breakthrough from Sabalevsky. He gets a big game. That was Dredge and West on the tackle there.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're giving so much props to the coach here, but that is such a well-designed play.
It is.
When there's
and beautifully executed too.
Yep, exactly, and that's really what matters at the end of the day. But again, even just that one little hop, that little confusion, that can throw a whole defense off right there.
And to be quite honest with you, I know that the ball, when he does that, I am expecting the ball to go to Sabalevsky. I don't know how the ball is getting to him, to be quite frank with you. I don't see the motion of where the ball is being dropped into his hands. But now up the gut is Little. He has to track backwards a little bit and is brought down by Julian Adams.
Julian Adams on the stop.
It's impressive, really, a lineman getting that far out into the secondary coverage area.
Really
to make those tackles. Yeah. That's where the linebackers need to be making tackles. But he's on the line getting back there. He's moving his legs, man. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's really showing really good teamwork, really good skill there. And I mean, I think the Eagles might be sticking to their guns here more. Maybe not going for the pass as much as they were the first
time. They want to secure the win. That's the first thing that they want to do. And they were fooling around a little bit towards the end of the first half, running that 2-minute drill. But now it's to Little again, who gets stopped abruptly by Julian Adams.
There it is.
Adams on a stop.
Back and forth, you're hearing some big names each play. That's just that are doing the work here.
It's been Little and Adams for just about the whole drive so far. Adams on this drive has 3 tackles out of the 6. He has half of the tackles that have been made in this whole drive so far. I mean, he's been active. And he's also a big presence on defense, especially putting pressure on offense, protecting Dredge in the pocket, and a huge stop with about 4 different Red Hawks in there.
Wow.
Caden James on a stop.
Yeah, collapsed him every time right in the middle. I feel like I don't even have to film these weren't ones on the side. Like if they send out a receiver, I'm just gonna stay in the line because I think they're gonna stick to their guns.
It's a very little chance that they're gonna throw it. And to be quite frank with you, it's the same thing that we've seen with the Hawks. They're much more confident in the run game. We've seen very little passing plays, and when we have seen passing plays, they've been incomplete. You got to give Garrett Dredge credit, though. He's made a few complete passes. And now the pitch to Little. He's got blockers. Behind him is Connor James. And a big hit delivered by Caden James. He'll go out of bounds.
The very impressive thing here is like being hit by Caden James, a big man, 220. You do not want to be hit by him. And yet this Little has been hit by him every single time. Like him, Julian Adams. These people are massive. And this guy is just being able to bounce right back every single time. This is a true athlete right here.
I mean, these are guys that we're talking about. You run into them, you bump into their shoulder in the hallway. If you're a freshman, you're going onto the ground. All right?
And then you're going to give them your lunch money because that's just, wow.
There's nothing you can do. Well, now, here you go. You got receivers out on the far side. And you got the fullback position again, and it's just going to be a quarterback sneak. Slipped through, but brought down. Now a Red Hawk slow to get up. Down on the ground, and he lifts himself up. That's John Rouleau. Not very surprising there.
Yeah, I'm thinking the O-line here is very strong for the Eagles, and it's hard for John Rouleau to keep up every time when he's managing every play on both sides of the field.
Yeah, I mean, centers don't get a lot of credit, nearly as much credit as they deserve. The pressure of snapping the ball correctly every single time is huge, and also controlling the offensive line and making sure no one goes off sides and communicating those plays to them. It's a big job. And he's just getting some well-deserved refs, but the Hawks are going to have to make up for it on the field. And stopped. Not short. He's in for the touchdown.
Maxon Brunette on the carry.
That was Connor James on the tackle.
Carry good for a Franklin Tech touchdown.
But now, same score as last game, Tyler, 18-0. And I think that the big hope for the Hawks in this game is to get on the scoreboard. You know, you come into this game, you come into every game hoping you can pull off a win. But when the reality starts to set in that you might be just a little bit out of your depth, the best you can hope for is not a shutout. Handoff to Sabalevsky is good for the 2 points.
For the 2-point conversion.
Now they're 1 for 3 on the 2-point conversion, and it is 20-0.
Franklin Tech Eagles 20, the Red Hawks nothing.
Yeah, Mason, you see this a lot. When a team in high school especially is finding something that's working, they're just going to keep doing it. They're going to hammer it down, and they're going to be repetitive. It might seem boring, but that's how you do win the game. Right now, they're showing it. 20-0, commanding lead.
And speaking of just doing the right thing again and again, there's Ian Spearance in the audience tonight. He was quite a player for the Red Hawks back in his day. Not to make him sound old or anything, but his little brother's out on the field right now. Jackson Spearance had a few opportunities to catch a few passes here and there. And, I mean, that was... Ian was playing back in the heyday of Frontier Sports. That's when, you know, the football team was really very competitive.
Absolutely. The Spearance kids. Oh, a short one.
And Dredge will take a knee.
Nice, good play.
Yeah,
as we were saying, Spearance is fantastic players in both football and basketball. We always love to see them.
From their own 40-yard line.
All right, the student section is not. They're keeping it up. They're still standing.
Yeah.
Some cheers are being made. It's actually very impressive. We do like to see it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I will say, this is a notable thing, I feel like.
Absolutely.
This will be the Red Hawks' 6th possession of the night, which will be now one more possession than they had in their game against Lunenburg. One more offensive possession. So it'll be 1st and 10, close formation. Handoff will be kept by Garrett Dredge, and he's brought down for no gain.
Garrett Dredge, the ball carrier.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. This has been a tough start for the Frontier football team so far this season. However, these two teams, the first two matchups, are rather tough on our schedule. It looks like from here, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be some good rivals, but these are certainly going to be some hard games. So it's okay if the start doesn't go off, but
absolutely.
I think our fans are here for a long run.
The more important thing, I mean, you might not be expecting wins from this, but you hope that your team is competitive.
Yeah.
And part of that is getting on the scoreboard, which is what we had talked about before. Close formation again. The handoff this time going to Caden James, who will be brought down after a gain of maybe 1, 2 if you're generous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no one better to give it to slamming it down the middle, but there's not much you can do with such a big defense. I mean, they're able to cover every inch that you think you might be able to have freedom.
Yeah, and they gave him 3, which is a little more generous than I thought, but
all right, that's good.
You can't argue with the refs, I guess.
No.
Tight formation again. Hawks seem to have something that they like here. Motion by Ben Karen in the backfield. They'll pitch it back to him, and he's wrapped up immediately for a big loss.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I mean,
Travis Eastman.
Yeah, there's a very, very important and distinct difference between having repetition and being able to be tricky with it and just repeating the same play. This pitch is deadly, but when it's repetitive with the same position, it's hard to get around it. And the defense here from the Eagles was able to read it very well. And, yeah, the Frontier team has not been able to do so as well with other repetitive styles and setups and formations on the Eagles offense.
And this will be the 4th punt of the night for Colin West.
Another quick shutout.
Another 3 and out for the Hawks, yeah. He'll punt it out from his own 25. A straight line out to the 30, and it will be brought out by Stafford. Stafford takes the far side and is brought down in a Hawks territory.
Robinson on the tackle.
Nobody even close to him.
Eagles.
Another great catch from Colin, a lot of room. However,
yeah.
the guy from the Eagles in the back was able to get a lot of room. And, you know, no one from Frontier could get up to him past the 50, so he just went, keep going.
And part of that is the great blocking that the Eagles are able to have. I mean, we talked about this physical size of this team. It's intimidating to be on a line against them, and to actually have to play against them has got to be really difficult. And you give the Hawks line plenty of credit. Once again, down JV Cabrera, who's sitting on the bench looking pretty depressed right now. He wishes he could be out helping his team right now. And a big stop. Max Hunter wraps up Josiah Little.
Max Hunter on the stop for the Red
There you
Hawks.
go. You love to see that. They don't need Javian, but he's a great captain, a great player, great person, and fantastic on the line, either side of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely, Tyler. And that will be no gain. Maybe one of the first few times that we've seen Little come up with no gain on a running play or a play of any kind, as a matter of fact.
Exactly, yeah. Max Hunter was able to just shut him down real fast.
Shifting defensive line, and Little gets the ball again, wrapped up after a couple yards. Max Hunter is pushed into the ground after the play, and he is slow to get up, holding his side.
Third down, 3rd and 7 for.
That was Dylan LaFond,
yeah, looks like he's gonna come off.
Committed the hit after the whistle. I will say there has been no penalties called in this game. Not a single one.
Yeah, it's been, and it's not like it hasn't been too rough either. It's been rough.
And now the fake handoff. Yetter keeps it himself. Evades traffic, and once again, a short pass. Slaps himself in the face, saying, "What are you doing, man?" And I'd ask the same thing of Joe Gamache.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I think what Joe's saying right now is like, hey, man, don't throw the ball. Just keep pounding it down to Little.
But at the same time, do you expect a high school quarterback to be getting this much freedom to make those kinds of decisions? It could be like an option read, I suppose.
Yeah.
But if you have a run game that's working this well, I wouldn't really give him the choice about it. Drops back to pass. They're going to go for the pass again, under pressure, down the sideline, and it is incomplete thanks to Brady Prada, who was looking to get the interception.
Very close, too. That was actually closer to Brady Prada than it was to his own receiver. But, wow.
Take over 1st and 10.
And another stop on defense. And, I mean, The Hawks defense has been coming up big. They came up big against Lunenburg a few times. They haven't necessarily been completely blown out of the water. I mean, obviously, a few score margin for both games right now. But the defense has given the offense chances, and the issue is not that the defense is, not up to the task. It's that the offense is not able to capitalize on the opportunities that the defense is giving them.
Exactly, and if you can't play both sides of the coin, then it's very hard to get a good game in.
Yeah, absolutely, Tyler.
Pitch. Oh, fumble, but caught it.
Pareda near side, and he's out of bounds. Late hit, no whistle, or no flag, and Pareda's going to get up in the guy's face.
And considering the pitch started with the ball being juggled around for a little bit, that was a very impressive gain of yard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
44-yard line, gain of 5, second and 5.
Gain of 5, there you go. That's all you need. Garrett Judge talking to the coach, trying to figure out what play to do.
Second and 5 for the Hawks. Coming out of the huddle, and John Rillo is back out on the field. It looks like they might just not want him on defense after being shaken up a few times, play it a little safe. The last thing that you want out of this game, even if it comes out to be another loss, even if it comes out to be another shutout, you don't want another injury. Brought down for a loss is Garrett Dredge, who decided to keep it himself.
Yeah, but absolutely, as you're saying, John Rillo is very dependable. He came from DA, and we've been loving him ever since. Fantastic guy. Very, very, very good. He works well with his team, and love to see it.
36 for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, we love him every day that he's on the field and off the field. Brady Pareda adjusting his knee brace right now. That's been an injury that we've been keeping an eye on. I haven't talked about too much because thankfully it hasn't been acting up. He's been very stable on the field, even though he's been tackled several times around his feet, around his knees. He seems to be pretty confident.
Yeah,
in his left knee. It was bruised in the previous game. That is what happened. That's what we've been told. And Caden James powering forward, maybe a yard short of the first down. They might give it to him. It's going to be close. And they're signaling for a first down. James carries it over.
Red Hawks.
There you go. Fantastic run from James, just sending it through the middle. I mean, both of these teams, to quote a fantastic movie, I've been using just a couple plays and using like Novocaine. Just keep using it, it'll work eventually. Oh, wow, fast run.
And timeout's going to be called because there was time running out on the third quarter. They want to use the time that they can. Time is going to have to be put up on the clock. 1 second will be put on the clock.
End of the third quarter here from the Frontier Regional School.
No, it's going to end it.
The Franklin Tech Eagles 20, the Red Hawks.
I saw a signal from the refs to put a finger up. One finger up. It looked like he was signaling for 1 second. So we'll see if they sort something out with the scoreboard to keep it in the third quarter. Otherwise, though, should be no timeout charge of the Red Hawks. Either way, there's a stoppage of play on the field and switching of direction of the drive.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
The Hawks coming up with a good drive right now. They have converted on to They've converted onto a first down, which is huge. They haven't been able to do that much. They only did it twice in their game against Lunenburg, and their past two drives have just been 3 and outs. This actually is their third first down of the game and 5th of the season, which not a great stat that you want to see, but it's a good sign for this drive.
Absolutely, Mason. Yeah, I mean, basically they're just on the other half of the field now. It's all right. They probably would have tried to get a quick spike in there to stop the clock, but
yeah,
it's now in the fourth quarter.
Try and get a little bit more time out of those last few seconds of the third quarter, and now a pass play developing. Dredge almost picked off.
Ben Karen.
Wow.
Will be incomplete. Tyler Yetter almost with a pick there.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams have really been favoring the run game, and rightfully so, because every time they've gone for the pass, I would say about 75% of the time, a ball has literally almost been caught, or it would have been more likely to be picked off instead of caught by the receiver.
Yeah.
So they really have
it's
to
been
stick
deflected
to the run game.
or almost picked off, batted down, something
really
like that.
Great coverage.
And then the other half of the time, it's just been short or just not on target. overthrown, something of that sort. And a close formation around Dredge for the Hawks. He'll drop back and hand it off to Ben Karen, who goes to the far side. He's got a few blockers and will get maybe 6 out of that one.
Yeah, that was fantastic there. It was a little bit of a misdirection trying to figure out which running back had the ball, and that's exactly what it took just to get a couple more yards. 4 yards, there it is.
48-yard line.
Still some conferring about what the plan is on the offense side.
Another third down conversion in store for the Red Hawks. And let's see if they can do it. They haven't been able to convert 2 first downs in a drive so far this season. This would be a first for them, and they'll stick with their formation that they had the past 2 downs. They seem to like it. The pitch over to Pareda, and it's going to go to the near side. He's got the first down and more. Open field. Brady Pareda wants to take it to the house. He's going to cut back and brought down inside the 10. What a run.
Fantastic. And you know, Mason, what happened there, I know exactly what happened there. The O-line, they were able to come through.
It was
all of the matches.
Beautiful gap on the near side, and an absolutely phenomenal job by Brady Pareda.
And not only that, they took their matchups and they kept going. They were able to find a complete wall blocking off all of the left side until around the 9-yard line. Brandon blocked there. Fantastic job.
This is the best drive that the Hawks have had this game and this season. Same formation. Gonna hand it off to Caden James, who gets a yard or two, maybe to the 6-yard line.
There you go. Now this is where you can keep in, should keep crawling because you're so close. You just got to find the right time to go for it.
2nd and goal from the Tech 5-yard line.
I thought at first they were going to just keep going at them, but they're going to take more time, really think about it. I think they can.
Yeah, and I don't blame them.
Playmaking here, yeah, absolutely. Get some points on the board. That's what matters here. Yep.
Same formation.
Yep.
The pitch over to Pareda. This is what worked before. There's the gap that opens up, and he's a yard short. It is down. He lost the ball when he went down, and it was covered by Franklin Tech, but he was ruled down by contact. So ball spotted at the 1.
Yeah, very good call there. You could see that he was moving his knee down there, and then it couldn't even, yeah. It's all right. It happens. It's very confusing, but the refs were able to handle that well.
And here they come out of the huddle from the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal. Plenty of backs. And they're going to hand it off to James, and he gets in for the touchdown.
There we go.
Red Hawks score.
There it is.
And the first touchdown of the season is going to go to Caden James, captain. And I expect wrong. Wow, we're going for an extra point. This is a rarity in high school sports, high school football. I mean,
yeah, I mean high school football is in general, but also at the Red Hawks especially.
Now,
wow.
Let's see who's back to kick here.
Yeah,
to hold the ball is Garrett Dredge. Snapping is Caden James, and it's good. The extra point is good.
There it is.
That was, I'm still looking to see his number. That was Noah Pareda.
What? Oh my gosh. Noah Pareda. Easily one of the highest qualified people to be the MVP for this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, he has done so much defensively, and now on special teams. I never thought that I'd see that.
That was also probably the closest kick I've ever seen to not being quite enough, and that was just very
It
impressive.
Almost came up short, but it was a great, I mean, good call by Coach Scott Dredge. If you're not feeling 100% confident with that 2-point, just get what you can.
Yeah.
Now it's 20-7, 9 minutes, and ultimate. I mean, we're expecting an onside kick here.
Yep.
James will take it.
And theoretically, this is a 2-touchdown game.
Receive for the Eagles.
Just get 2 quick after points, and then you're up by 1. You just have to get 2 stops here. That's tough.
And it will be driven down the line, covered up by Franklin Tech on their own 35.
The Eagles, first and 10,
Yeah,
Franklin Tech.
I agree that the onside hit was the great call there.
31-yard line.
But
Yeah.
being able to do more of the bouncy ball down the center, that's what this Franklin Tech team means. So I feel like they had a lot of practice, the special teams, of being able to stop at their own. So yeah, they were able to fall on that ball instantly. Now there's 9 minutes left in the game here. If Franklin Tech can go down and get a touchdown here, then that would seal the game.
I mean, this is, once again, comes down to the defense. We need to see a stop like we did earlier in the game, some block passes, forced fumble recoveries. This is where the defense needs to step up even more than they have already in the game. Little. Oh! Is exactly what we needed, and that's Colin West getting everyone pumped up.
There you go. There you go. Anybody here might have got some chills, just some blood pumping. Look at that. Fantastic. Just dives to the line.
Loss of a yard, but big loss of morale right there. I mean, that's got to shake you as a team to have a guy that can just go straight up the gut. You can't nothing. He didn't get touched once. He went straight through their line, and I mean, clock's still ticking, and the Eagles will take all the time that they need.
Absolutely.
The clock is now working against the Hawks as well. Once again, they pitch it over to Little. Colin West in a hot pursuit gets taken out by his own player, but Little racing down the sideline gets the first down at the 50.
Carries into Red Hawk territory.
Yeah, what a strong run again. Just that pitch, he had so much room. He could get it all around it. It's like he was curving around before they could even get him.
He knows how to work the sideline so well. He gets so close and he hugs it, and you push him out, but he still gets 10, 15, 20 yards on you.
And the rest of the team is just providing all the support he needs. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Great blocks, distractions, and there's the fake again. And he'll be brought down fast.
On the carry.
James was there first on the tackle. Sobolewski
James, Colin West on
for maybe a yard.
Second and 9.
Yeah, that time the ball was snapped, went up with his right hand, but then brought it down with the left and handed off to the running back to try to get a little bit in right away. Didn't really work out there too much that time, but very interesting.
The Hawks have started to get used to that play.
Absolutely.
They're anticipating it a little bit. So now would be a time to run that play and instead pitch it back to Little, which is exactly what they do here. But it's not going to work too well as Connor James tracks him down, and Brady Pareda will finish the job with a tackle.
Yeah, there we go. And if we're able to predict the plays here, I think other people might be able to start catching on to that. You got to be careful. They can't always follow the same patterns. They might be brilliant.
It's such a different thing being up here calling the game and seeing everything on a bird's eye view than being on the field and seeing the formation from that perspective. It's completely different. And, you could be at home watching this and say, well, what are they doing? Why don't they just there's a hole right there in the line. They can just go through it. It's all happening so fast. There's adrenaline rushing through their bloodstreams. And it's a much different game on the field. The throw downfield, looking for a receiver, and once again too far from Tyler Yetter.
82.
Yep, just about 3 yards ahead of them.
Too close.
And now a 4th and short for the Eagles. I'd expect them to go for it. I mean, they don't really have much to lose right now. Hope fading fast for the Hawks. If they get the ball back here, they got to make something happen fast so that they can come back again and look at another score.
Absolutely.
Because right now what we're looking at is the game ultimately, if the Hawks can hold them and they can score 2 touchdowns, the game is going to come down to a Noah Pareda field goal extra point try, which is ridiculous to think about. Noah Pareda, as we said before, he's only a freshman. Huge defensive stand here. Watching for motion from Little, and there it is. They're going to throw it over to him. And they won't. It's going to be kept and might be short of the first down. And they will give it to him. Ref signals for the first down, and the Red Hawks stand in disbelief.
That's all right. They made a tough call, but that was a very good defense there. They knew that something was fishy there, and they were able to smell it out for a... Wow. Coach Dredge very close to the refs, fighting it. They're going to stick with it.
And the Frontier fans is upset about the first down call.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, credit goes to Joe Gamache. I'm calling out the plays that I'm thinking are going to happen, and he's got options upon options for these different formations, and you see the three receivers going to the near side, and it's like, oh, those are going to be blockers. And, nope, they're going to keep it with the quarterback and go with the sneak.
Just distraction.
And now they hand it off. Go back to the bread and butter with Josiah Little.
Yeah.
Timeout going to be called by the Redhawks. Yeah. It will be their first timeout of the second half with 6:20 on the clock. They're down by 2 scores.
Frontier,
yeah, I mean, Mason, not only do they still have the problem of detaining Josiah Little, now they have a problem to race against the clock. The Eagles can just run it and run it. They don't want to go near the sidelines. No, they want to keep it in the middle.
No,
keep taking their time.
That's exactly what the Hawks should have been doing at the end of the second half.
Yeah.
When the clock was in their favor, but then they pushed Little out of bounds and were thankfully saved by a bad throw from Tyler Yetter. But it was, I mean, their clock management is a thing to be worked on, I think we can say, but also definitely not top priority when you're talking about an offense that has struggled with not even scoring, just getting down the field, converting a first down. That's what you need to focus on. If the fundamentals is where you're struggling, the fundamentals is where you need to work on, and then you get the fundamentals down, things are going to start moving at a much faster pace.
Dude, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better.
And now we're back on the field, 2nd and 6 from inside the Redhawks 40.
2nd and 7 for the Eagles.
The handoff, Little, and he breaks through the gap, and a flag.
Josiah Little,
looks like
ball carrier.
The ref is pointing towards the huddle and
collaborating.
I'm trying to read their motions right now. It looks like they're pointing over to the Eagles. Could be a foul on them. It'll be holding on the Eagles. Second call on the Eagles tonight. But the tackle on the play was made by Brady Pareda. And I know I said earlier there has been no penalties called on the game. I think that's the second, actually. The other one was the exact same call against the Eagles. So there's been no penalties that have made against the Redhawks.
Yep. Yeah. Totally right. Yeah, it's been really interesting. It's been overall, of course, just a low-call game. But, yeah, the Redhawks have not received any. Looks like we're also going to get change of clock. What's happening here? Oh, all right.
I can't tell what the fans are shouting, but Logan Wolkowitz is hyping them up from the sideline. Well, not regular, but a familiar formation from the Eagles, and still up, but finally brought down after.
Maxon Burnett on the carry.
Guess we can give him 2 or 3 yards, and they'll give him about 1.
Gain of a couple yards. 3rd down.
Bit harsh, but 3rd down, still a lot to go.
3rd and 14 for
the Eagles. A lot to go.
Yeah.
From the Frontier 46-yard line.
These are, and I'm saying, I can't say this is a big play. These are 2 big plays for the Hawks defense because they're going to go for it on 4th down. There's no reason why they shouldn't. And they've got the formation out to the far side. No motion. They fake the pass and hand it off to Little. He's got the first down. That's not Little. That is Brunette, who looks to take it to the house. He gets a block, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown,
number 21,
Maxon Brunette. And Pareda holds his head in his hands. Noah Pareda, he was the one who I think had an angle to actually tackle him.
Yeah, there's certainly some miscommunication there that really just allowed that play to happen. But fantastic props to Brunette there. That was a very impressive drive.
It was an incredible run.
Yeah.
A great read of the field, going to the outside. And once again,
the 2-point conversion.
Working the sideline so well. And now the score is 26-7. And they're going for 2 points. They're 1 for 3 on the night with these. Fans still engaged, and we love to see it. 5 minutes on the clock. Motion from a receiver. Keeping it himself is Yetter. One-on-one with Ben Karen, who won't make the stop. And he's
Tyler
in.
Yetter in for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do there with a fast QB like that, but I know Ben Karen will be hearing a lot about that in practice.
And Noah Pareda can't believe it. He's in absolute disbelief right now. 2 close plays on the goal line that he was involved in, and neither of them go his way.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very sudden just, like, change of pace. All of a sudden, you know, it was, like, 3rd and 14th, and it was, like, 3rd and 14. Like, that's a tough thing to go about, and then, boom, touchdown.
Yeah.
Not even a minute later.
And now the Hawks will line up for the kickoff. Likely to be an onside kick return, which is what we've seen in the past, except it looks like it will not be Brady Gankars who kicks it off. It looks like it's going to be Joseph DeShulo, so maybe we will actually see a proper kick return here.
Yeah. It looks like it based on how they're lined up. Yep.
And we will. Gets airborne, and Pareda is there to receive it. He's going to get it up the middle and is tripped up. Looks like he had a great hole opening up for him.
Absolutely, yeah. He found the right places to go, but it's tripped up a little bit near the 50.
46-yard line.
And a good run back from Pareda. And now the Hawks back on offense. 1st and 10 from their own 46. The last play we saw on offense from the Hawks was a rushing touchdown from Caden James, the first score of the season for the Red Hawks.
I'm sure they're all hoping here for another good one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we can see a breakout play from the Hawks as well. Interesting formation here, heavy on Dredge's right side, and he's going to look for blockers. Pass is behind Carter Robinson as he goes down as he was making the pass. He's slow to get up, definitely shaken up from the blindside hit.
Yeah, I mean, you really said that blind side. That was very key here. With Javian Rivera out, it's very dangerous. Like, that is a fantastic play. There's so many options, and it's really confusing to cover on D. However, all right, yeah, there's going to be a referee timeout for quarterback Eric Dredge.
Yeah, and Dredge holding his head. It's not going to be a stoppage of play. He's going to head to the bench. Yeah. Towel goes over the head, and we might not see him for the rest of the game, folks.
Yeah, it looked like he banged up his head and maybe also possibly his eyes. I saw him trying to pull up the mask right away.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 for the Red Hawks.
Well, meanwhile, back on the field, we'll have to wait and see who is going to be playing quarterback as Dredge is on the sideline. It looks like it's going to be Ben Karen.
Yeah.
Receiver and halfback for this game. Calling out the play to his wideout on his right side. He's got 2 backs behind him. Hands it off to Brady Pareda. Stiff arm, and he's brought down for a big loss.
The ball carrier.
Good sportsmanship there. You know, Brady Pareda just got flattened by him, and yet gets him right up, and then goes to celebrate with his team.
Tucker Hicks on the
tackle.
tackle.
Love to see that, especially with this rivalry.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the reality is, so many of these kids know each other personally. They used a lot of the kids in Franklin Tech used to be Frontier middle schoolers.
Yeah, Travis Eastman, Owen LeBlanc.
Yeah, they all knew each other, and they're playing against each other now, and it is a rivalry. You can't doubt that, and it's one of the biggest that we have here. But at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are friends, and they'll text each other after the game and tell each other that they did a great job.
Yeah.
Hand off to Pareda again. Cuts back inside and gets hit hard in the gut. Slammed down and gets about 3 yards on the carry. Trying to make up for his big loss there.
Nolan Stafford on the tackle. 4th down.
Yeah, in all honesty, you never want to see a player hurt, especially someone as crucial as Jared Dredge, but this might be a good time to see how Ben Karen can do in the quarterback position.
Drops back to punt.
Except they're not going to be going for it on 4th down. They'll play it safe. They don't want to get pounded into the ground any more than they have to. And West is going to take his 5th punt of the day. Yeah,
that's also another stat you don't often want to hear. However, as much as we like to see Colin smack that ball,
he's getting plenty of practice, and he's good. He's a good punter.
He really is.
The punt will get off from the 35, and looks like it might, nope, it will roll out of bounds.
Eagles ball, 1st and 10.
At the Franklin Tech
From
34.
The 35-yard line.
Now back on defense is the Hawks. Seems to be their strong suit, so maybe we'll get a few exciting plays right at the end of this game, Tyler. 2:48 is on the clock. Looking like it's going to be another loss in the books for the Red Hawks. But they got on the scoreboard this time. You got to give them some credit for that.
Now the defense's only job here is to hold them. They have been averaging a drive done in around this time, around like 2:30, 2:40. So hopefully they can hold them here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's starting to sound like Tony Romo, and that's not a good thing. Handoff to Josiah Little. He cuts up the middle, strips a tackle. That's not Josiah Little, excuse me. He's looking for the end zone again, and Brunette is slammed down.
Oh.
Caden James and one other Red Hawk is on the tackle there. It looked like that was Noah Pareda. Shaken up a little bit is Caden James.
Yeah, I mean, it's like absolutely no offense to anyone, but it's just like with you seeing a run like that, you expect it to be little, but Brunette is clearly a very skilled player as well.
I mean, honestly, Brunette is a junior. Little is a senior. Next year, Brunette is going to be the starting running back for Tech, if I have gotten any sense of their playing from this game. And wrapped up and slammed down by Garrett Dredge. A great textbook tackle there from the quarterback.
Dredge.
Good to see it that he's back and being able to make plays.
Really good. Really good to see that and deliver a big hit like that. I mean, it's very likely that he also got the wind knocked out of him from that hit too. I was thinking that when he took his mask off, is just feeling claustrophobic. He can't breathe. That's what happens,
Yep.
And now we got a receiver out to Yetter's right. 2nd and 5, the fake. And he's still up. Takes the outside. Just popped up from that hit, and he's going to go out of bounds. Nathan Sabolevsky gets the first down.
Yeah, this is a very crucial part of the game, and it's really hard not to let the emotions run high here. You really got to try to remain composed. But that's really hard when you have very micro-organized and managed teams, and specifically the D-line here.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to keep it together.
Absolutely.
Got to see what they can do.
And now switching the lineup, wide out on the left side.
Yeah.
And Brunette is in for the touchdown.
Fantastic run, Brunette. Getting so much airtime.
Franklin Tech.
Another great run, short one this time from Brunette. But he's having a great late game.
Absolutely.
And now the score will be 34-7 for the Eagles. And they're going to go for 2 as well. And for some of you that might be thinking, well, why don't they just pull back and take the extra point attempts? They likely don't even have a kicker for an extra point attempt. Very little teams at the high school level do. Handoff going to go to Brunette. Strips a tackle, and he's in.
Boom.
2 more points, and it's 36-7.
2-point conversion. 1:02 remaining here in the 4th quarter. The score: the Franklin Tech Eagles 36, the Frontier Redhawks 7.
Real tough game for the Hawks. I will say, I mean, not reflected by the score. I think that there's been some improvements in this team, as well as some pretty darn good covering for the injuries that are on the field, or rather off of the field tonight. Especially Javian Cabrera. I mean, John Rouleau, we got to give him so much credit. He's laid his body on the line every play of this game, and he's getting a good talk from one of his coaches on the sideline right now, telling him he did a great job. His jersey is drenched in sweat now, Tyler, and he gave it his all, and his body paid for it a little bit, but no doubt we'll see him in the game against Greenfield next week.
That's what you like to see. If they are not dripping, like if you were to go up to them and you can smell it about like 10 feet away, then I don't know if they played all they could. Absolutely love to see it. It's been a great night. Really, again, not reflected by the score, but there has been fantastic plays.
And another
here.
kick return from Pareda. Cuts back inside and
cut down.
Brady Pareda on the
18-yard carry there.
Hunter Donahue on the stop. Redhawks 1st and 10 from the Red Hawk 37-yard line.
Well, the Hawks will be trying to go for a score if they can handle one right now. Not terrible field position. Again, their own 36. But once again, they've struggled with converting on those third downs, getting first downs. They had that one huge run from Brady Pareda that got them in position for the touchdown. And the key is getting in that position. The way that most teams do that is by passing the ball, which we haven't seen the Redhawks do a lot. But here's a passing play. Garrett Dredge down the field looking for Carter Robinson, and it's almost picked off through the hands of Maddox Whitman.
2nd and 10 for the Redhawks.
Yeah, I mean, this is making it pretty evident what they're going to try to do here with the last 50 seconds in the game. That he did a nice play, that he did a lot of yards and a good pass here. Be really nice to see some more points on the board.
Absolutely, Tyler. And I mean, a Hail Mary throw is not a bad idea at all.
Totally. I mean, they don't have a win condition here, being realistic. However, it still would be nice, to get more points. This is their only touchdown so far this year. There will be more. There'll be plenty more, but it would be nice to have one more right now.
Yeah, and you got some of the more defensive players taking a seat on the sideline, just saving their strength for the next game. Don't want them to get injured at the last few moments. And motion from Dredge, winding up, throws the ball, and it's caught!
Nice.
Ty Skorowski again.
Garrett Dredge.
Tackled out of bounds, too. Stopping the clock with 43.
Completion.
Past the 50.
Hawk first down into Eagle territory.
That'll be spot at their 46.
47-yard line.
I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah, I was thinking 47 too.
Yeah.
I agree with
I think it's a little it's in between.
Oh my! Wow, Chain Gang's giving it a 1. Are they giving it? Yeah, they're giving it a 1. Wow, I don't even know. It's crazy.
They're giving it a 1 because it's a first down.
Oh yeah.
Do you know how the chain gang works?
Obviously, but that's what they're doing here.
A throw from Dredge, caught by Ben Karen. He's going to the far side. Doesn't have any blockers, but he's working the sideline and gets pushed out of bounds at the 25.
The one thing that I wonder about the chain gang is, do they purposefully drop the the furthest marker when they're running near them? Like, I've noticed that every time, and that's the confusing part.
The Eagle 27-yard line.
I mean, I can't tell you. I haven't worked on the chain gang, so I don't know exactly how they operate it. I know that the farthest stick is the first down. Yeah. That's what they're aiming for. But now, same formation we saw before. 10 seconds on the clock. We could be seeing the last play of the game. Short pass over to Brady Pareda, and he gets out of bounds in time. 3 seconds on the clock.
There you go. This is the range you want to see at the 15.
Maddox Whitman.
So that'll be maybe a 6-yard gain.
6, 2nd and 4.
Thank you, Blanchett. So that'll be a pass reception from Pareda. And a few first downs in a row for the Hawks. And this will be the last play of the game. They are in range for a touchdown on the 20-yard line. Going to see a pass for sure. The secondary getting ready. 4 receivers ready and motion by Ben Karen. Going back to throw. Dredge.
Oh,
and it's caught. Pareda stopped.
To Brady Pareda.
Just short of the goal line.
That's the end of the game.
And a tough end to the game. Could have gotten one more score, but
Redhawks 7.
Yeah, very tough end there. That could have had potential very close to touchdown, less than 5 yards, but
yeah, I think that he got pushed out at around the 3, honestly.
Yeah.
And now they line up for the handshake. Another tough loss for the Redhawks football team. And once again, I mean, we got to talk about the injuries. They plagued them at the start of the first game and got even worse throughout the first game. Thankfully, we didn't see any big injuries, but we saw John Rouleau get shaken up and Garrett Dredge take a big hit that likely winded him. So we'll be keeping an eye on them in the days between now and the next game against Greenfield, which is sure to be a great game. That'll be an away game for us, but since it's in the area, we'll go and cover it. And as a matter of fact, we're hoping to cover just about every game that we have this season.
Yes, we are.
But the big news, I think, the big takeaway from this game is a touchdown by the Red Hawks. Caden James walks it in, and Noah Pareda kicks an extra point, which is quite a remarkable feat, especially as a freshman. He's got to be up there in people's conversations for player of the game. Ty Skorowski as well, having the most receptions, I'm pretty sure. He had at least 3 passes for a significant gain throughout the whole game.
I'm liking the new tradition here.
I am too. I like it a lot.
Great family value.
They had their arms interlinked last time, but I guess standing next to each other will do it this time around. Javian cannot link his arms with anyone. That would be a little too painful, I think.
Yeah.
Well, as the band plays out the football team, we'd like to thank you very much for tuning in to our coverage of Frontier's game against the Franklin Tech Eagles. It was a tough loss. 36-7 was the final score, but a good touchdown and a few good offensive drives, not to mention some incredible defensive plays throughout the whole game, and an extra point from Noah Pareda. I've been Mason Smith, here with Tyler Wolkowitz, Cole Melnick. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. We hope you have a wonderful evening. You've been watching Frontier Community Access Television.
Go Hawks.